This video is about Gilgamesh confronts Humbaba in the forest of Cedars until Enkidu falls. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. The forest of Cedars, Gilgamesh confronts Humbaba. In a realm where the sun kisses the mountains and the stars weave tales in the night sky, there lay the forest of Cedars, a sanctuary for shadow and dread. Here, amidst the towering trees that whispered secrets of the ancients, lurked Humbaba, the fearsome guardian, a creature forged from the nightmares of the gods. His roar echoed through the woods, and every creature trembled at his name. In the city of Uruk, the heart of civilization, the mighty king Gilgamesh, 2/3 divine, 1/3 mortal, gazed upon his kingdom with a fire that burned beyond mere ambition. He craved glory, the kind that legends spoke of, and sought to carve his name into the annals of eternity. Tales of Humbaba reached his ears, tales that drew him like a moth to a flame. "If I conquer this beast," he declared, his voice resonating through the halls, "I will be immortalized, my fame shall echo across the ages." His friend and brother in arms, Enkidu, a wild man of the steppe, stood beside him, eyes fierce and unwavering. "Fame is but a fleeting shadow, my king. It is honor that will remain in the hearts of men. We must tread carefully, for Humbaba is not merely a monster, he is a curse woven into the very fabric of this forest." Yet the fire of ambition burned brighter than the wisdom of caution. With a fierce determination, the two heroes set forth, leaving behind the comforts of Uruk and plunging into the unknown, the deepening shadows of the Cedars swallowing them whole. The air thickened with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, each step beneath their feet echoing like the heartbeat of the forest. As they traversed the labyrinth of trees, Gilgamesh felt the weight of destiny upon him. In the distance, the shadows danced, taunting him, whispering tales of those who had fallen before heroes turned to ashes, dreams crushed beneath the weight of ambition. He pushed forward, driven by a thirst for glory that threatened to consume him. "We must rest," Enkidu said, his voice gruff yet filled with concern. "The darkness is thickening, and I sense the stirrings of something vile." "Nonsense," Gilgamesh retorted, a fire igniting in his emerald eyes. "We are heroes. What is a night in the shadows to us? We will face the dawn with victory at our backs." But as night descended, the forest came alive with malevolent energy. The trees creaked, the branches twisting like gnarled fingers reaching for the heavens, and the air was thick with the scent of ancient magic. Enkidu, attuned to the primal forces, sensed the encroaching danger. "I feel it, Gilgamesh. The forest watches us. Humbaba knows we come for him." The stillness that followed was broken by a guttural growl that vibrated through the very ground beneath them. Shadows twisted and morphed, revealing the hulking figure of Humbaba, a monster wrapped in sinewy muscle and cloaked in the darkness of the forest. His eyes glowed like embers, illuminating the terror etched on his savage visage. "You dare tread upon my sacred ground," he boomed, his voice a tempest that rattled the canopy above. "Foolish mortals, you seek glory but shall find only death." Gilgamesh stepped forward, his heart pounding with both fear and exhilaration. "We are not afraid of you, beast. I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk. I seek to conquer you and claim this cedar forest for my people." With a roar that shook the forest to its core, Humbaba lunged, a grotesque mass of fury and primal rage. The air crackled with tension as Gilgamesh and Enkidu steeled themselves, their swords drawn, gleaming in the dim light. The clash of metal against flesh echoed like thunder, each blow sending shockwaves through the ancient trees. Yet the battle was not merely of strength, it was a clash of wills. Gilgamesh's determination clashed against Humbaba's ferocity, and with each swing of his sword he felt the weight of his destiny. "For Uruk, for my people," he cried, each utterance igniting his soul, fueling his resolve. But the forest was a living entity, and it shifted around them, ensnaring their feet in roots that writhed like serpents. Enkidu fought valiantly, his wild spirit a tempest against the dark tide of Humbaba. "Together, Gilgamesh, together we can defeat him." The battle raged on, the forest shaking as the heroes danced around their foe, weaving a tapestry of valor and desperation. Yet with every blow struck, it became clear that Humbaba was no mere monster. He was the embodiment of the forest's ancient magic, a force as old as time itself. "Enough!" Humbaba roared, summoning the very essence of the forest. He unleashed a torrent of energy, summoning roots and vines that lashed out like whips, catching Enkidu off guard. "You think you can conquer me, king? Your fate is entwined with your friendess." With a swift movement, the roots had snared Enkidu, lifting him into the air, choking the breath from his lungs. Gilgamesh's heart dropped, a cold dread settling in his chest. "Release him," he screamed, desperation clawing at his throat. In that moment of vulnerability, Humbaba raised a massive hand, the fury of the forest coalescing around him. "You wish to save your friend?" Then you must pay the price. Gilgamesh felt time slow as he locked eyes with Enkidu, the bond between them transcending the fear that hung in the air. I will not let you take him, he shouted, a raging fire igniting within him. With a surge of power, Gilgamesh charged, dodging the wild tendrils of the forest, his heart set on freeing his friend. Phil, Humbaba roared, summoning his strength. The roots tightened around Enkidu, and for a moment it seemed that hope was lost. Gilgamesh leaped, a desperate strike aimed at the heart of the beast. But the moment was fleeting. Just as Gilgamesh's blade found its mark against Humbaba's side, a blinding flash of light enveloped the forest. The gods, watching from their celestial abodes, felt the tremors of this mortal struggle. It was here, in the heart of the forest, that the destinies of kings and monsters intertwined. Enkidu, caught in the grip of the roots, felt the life ebbing away. Gilgamesh, he gasped, the strength fading from his voice. You must not let my sacrifice be in vain. No, I will save you. Gilgamesh cried, his heart breaking at the sight of his brother in arms fading before him. With renewed strength, he drove the sword deeper into Humbaba's side, each thrust accompanied by the desperate cries for honor and love. Humbaba let out a howl that shattered the night, a sound that echoed through the ages, reverberating through the very fabric of existence. You may conquer me, but the forest shall exact its price. With one final, desperate roar, Humbaba collapsed, the roots retracting and releasing Enkidu, who fell like a broken leaf to the ground. Gilgamesh rushed to his friend, cradling him in his arms, the weight of the world crashing down upon him. Enkidu, stay with me, you real warrior, fight. Tears streamed down his face, each drop mingling with the blood of battle, a testament to their bond. But Enkidu's eyes, once fierce and bright, dimmed with the shadows of fate. Gilgamesh, he whispered, his voice barely a breath. In this fight, we have forged a bond greater than any kingdom. Remember me, not as a fallen warrior, but as a brother, as a friend. As the stars twinkled above, a silence fell over the forest of Cedars, a stillness that marked the end of an era and the birth of a legend. Gilgamesh felt the weight of grief crush him, as if the very forest conspired against him. The monster was slain, but at what cost? In that moment, he understood that glory was but a fleeting shadow, honor lay in the sacrifices made for love. With the heart of a king, he wept for his brother, the echo of their adventure reverberating through the ages, a tale of courage, tragedy, and the unbreakable bonds forged in the fires of battle. As dawn broke over the horizon, gilding the treetops in gold, Gilgamesh rose, the ashes of despair transforming into a fire of resolve. He would carry Enkidu's spirit with him, seeking a destiny that honored their journey, a quest for wisdom that transcended mortality. Thus began the saga of Gilgamesh, the king who would walk the edge of the blade, the hero who would rise from the ashes of loss, forever haunted by the shadows of the past but emboldened by the love that endured beyond the grave. The forest of Cedars would remember, and in the heart of Uruk, their tale would be whispered through generations, echoing through the halls of time. Hash hash hash, the forest of Cedars. Gilgamesh confronts Humbaba Part 2. As dawn broke over the horizon, painting the forest of cedars in hues of gold, Gilgamesh knelt beside Enkidu, the weight of his grief pressing down like the might of the heavens. The sun, breaking through the mist, illuminated the fallen warrior's face, revealing the serene acceptance that lay within the fading breath. Do not leave me, Enkidu, Gilgamesh pleaded, the tremor in his voice echoing through the once whispering woods, now thick with sorrow. You are the heart of my strength, my brother in arms. Together we challenge the shadows, and together we shall triumph. But Enkidu, shrouded in the stillness of the forest, smiled faintly as if he had glimpsed eternity. You are destined for greatness. Gilgamesh, the gods have woven your fate with threads of ambition, but my journey ends here. Carry my spirit within you. Let it guide you in the shadows. With a heart heavy as stone, Gilgamesh bowed his head, feeling the warmth of Enkidu's body fade against the chill of morning. The forest, once a battleground of ambition and valor, now transformed into sacred ground, an altar of sacrifice. And in that moment, he vowed to honor his fallen friend by wielding his pain as a weapon against fate. A distant rustling stirred the air, pulling Gilgamesh from the well of despair. He lifted his head, feeling the pulse of the forest quicken, a reminder that life persisted even amidst tragedy. The tendrils of darkness that had once been Enkidu now twisted, coiling around the fallen Humbaba, the beast defeated yet not without consequence. The trees groaned, their ancient spirits restless. Foolish king, your victory is but a hollow echo. The voice thundered from the roots of the forest, the remnants of Humbaba's wrath still palpable. Shadows coalesced, forming spectral images of those who had dared to enter the cedars and fallen prey to its darkness. You have awakened the curse. Gilgamesh, rising with fire igniting in his veins, shouted back into the void, "I am no mere fool. I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk. I will carve my destiny from the stone of despair. What curse binds this forest shall be broken by my hand." The shadows whispered, swirling around him like a tempest. "Your desires are empty. The gods will not have mercy on you. Turn back, lest you bring ruin upon your kingdom." But Gilgamesh felt the weight of his promise, the sacred bond to Enkidu urging him forward. "I will not turn back if my path leads to ruin. Then let it be a ruin that sings of valor. I will not falter. I will not yield." As he stepped farther into the heart of the forest, the air thickened with a palpable tension. The trees stood as ancient sentinels, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers, both warning and welcoming him deeper into their embrace. His sword, still gleaming with the blood of Humbaba, felt heavy at his side, a constant reminder of the cost of ambition. With each step, the whispers intensified, shaping into a cacophony of voices, each bearing the weight of 1,000 fallen. "The forest remembers your name, king. It remembers the bond broken by greed. What will you sacrifice next?" "I sacrifice nothing," Gilgamesh shouted, the power of his voice cutting through the darkness. "I stand here in honor of my friend, to seek wisdom, to challenge destiny itself. Let the gods hear me." In response, an otherworldly light burst forth, illuminating the forest in hues of crimson and gold, the trees bending in homage to his fervor. The divine presence descended, and from the heavens 2 figures emerged, radiant and terrible, a goddess and a god, their essences interwoven with the threads of fate. "I am Ishtar, goddess of love and war," she proclaimed, her voice like the clash of swords. "And I am Enlil, god of the winds and storms," he thundered, each syllable resonating in the depths of Gilgamesh's soul. "You have entered a domain but half understood, brave king. Your victory against Humbaba has not gone unnoticed, but its price is a steep one." "What price must be paid?" Gilgamesh's eyes ablaze with defiance. "I shall pay any price for the honor of my friend. I shall face whatever destiny lays before me." Ishtar stepped closer, her luminous gaze piercing through the veil of sorrow that surrounded him. "You seek glory, but glory is built upon sacrifice. Every step you take carries the weight of choices yet unmade. To honor Enkidu, you must embark on a quest deeper than the forest itself, a journey across realms fraught with peril and betrayal." "Then let it be so," Gilgamesh declared, clenching his fists, destiny coursing through his veins like wildfire. "I will not shy from this path, even if I must face the gods themselves." "Beware, king," Enlil warned, his voice a tempest. "Your heart must remain true, for temptation will come cloaked in shadows. The journey ahead will test not only your strength, but your very essence." The ground trembled, and the forest shuddered as if echoing the weight of the god's words. In an instant, the forest was no longer static. It warped and twisted into a swirling vortex, pulling Gilgamesh toward an unknown fate. "By the power vested in us, we grant you passage to the realm of shadows," Ishtar said, her voice fading as the winds howled around him. As the world around him collapsed into darkness, Gilgamesh felt the warmth of Enkidu's spirit beside him, a guiding light in the suffocating void. "Stay with me, my friend," he whispered, the words reverberating through the emptiness. "Together we shall conquer these trials." Suddenly the darkness gave way, and he found himself standing on the edge of a vast chasm, the winds howling around him like 1,000 lost souls. Across the abyss, a great citadel loomed, its spires reaching toward a blood-red sky, shimmering with the ominous promise of challenges yet to come. "Welcome, brave king," the voice echoed from the chasm, and a figure emerged from the mist, cloaked in shadows, a wraith-like figure with glowing eyes that pierced through the veil of darkness. "I am the keeper of the abyss, guardian of the trials awaiting you," he intoned, each word echoing with the weight of 1,000 ancient sorrows. "To cross my realm, you must face your deepest fears and darkest truths. Only then may you seek the wisdom and strength you desire." Gilgamesh's heart raced, memories of his battles flooding his mind, the faces of those he had lost intertwining with his ambitions. "I will face whatever specters haunt me," he declared, his resolve steeling against the onslaught of doubt. "For honor, for Enkidu, I will not waver." The keeper of the abyss gestured, and a swirling mist enveloped him, transporting him into a realm of shadow and light, where echoes of his past danced before him, a mirror reflecting his greatest triumphs and deepest tragedies. In the first vision, he saw himself as a boy, standing alone in the streets of Uruk, the weight of expectations heavy upon his shoulders. "You will never be more than a king," the whispers taunted, mocking his every move. "You were born into greatness, but your heart is weak. Strength is not defined by the crown one wears." Gilgamesh roared, the fire of rebellion igniting within him. "I am more than the king of Uruk. I am a son of the gods and a brother to the fallen." As the vision twisted away, the next emerged, his first encounter with Enkidu, wild and untamed, a force of nature that challenged his very being. "You think you can control me?" Enkidu's voice resounded, fierce and unwavering. "You cannot tame the wild, you can only learn to walk beside it. I never sought to tame you, my brother. I sought a companion to face the shadows with," Gilgamesh replied, feeling the weight of their bond suffuse his spirit, invigorating his heart. "Together, we are unbreakable." The visions continued, a relentless tide, each one testing the very core of his being, the losses, the betrayals, the haunting laughter of enemies long defeated. Each spectre pressed down upon him, each memory a dagger aimed at his resolve. When at last the torrent of visions subsided, Gilgamesh found himself back at the edge of the abyss, breathless yet emboldened. "I will not be broken," he declared, his voice a clarion call. "I rise from my past to forge my destiny anew." The keeper of the abyss stepped forward, nodding with solemn approval. "You have faced your darkness and emerged strengthened, but the trials have only just begun. To seek wisdom, you must confront the sacred relics of your past, objects that hold the essence of your journey." With a wave of his hand, the keeper conjured images of the relics, the sword that had felled Humbaba, the crown of Uruk, a feather from the wings of Ishur herself, and the forest of Cedars. Gilgamesh confronts Humbaba, Part 3. A swelling vortex of shadows enveloped Gilgamesh, the keeper of the abyss' spectral form lingering like a ghost behind him as the chasm echoed with the voices of heroes long lost. "To confront the relics of your journey," the keeper intoned, "is to confront the essence of your existence." With a flick of his wrist, the keeper summoned a shimmering portal, its surface rippling like the surface of a disturbed lake. "Step forth, and your truth shall lay bare before you." Gilgamesh paused, the weight of Enkidu's memory pressing against his heart, igniting a fire of resolve. "I will face whatever lies beyond this veil. For honor, for friendship, I will not waver." He thrust himself into the portal, crashing through a barrier that felt like a wall of water, the world shifting and warping until he landed upon a vast plain bathed in ethereal light, the remnants of a battlefield stretching endlessly before him. The ground was littered with the remnants of ancient armor and shattered weapons, a somber testament to the fierce conflicts that had once raged here. Suddenly, the air crackled with energy, and from the shadows emerged a figure clad in armor of silver, its surface glinting like stars caught in a storm. It was a warrior of the ages, eyes ablaze with the fury of countless battles. "You seek the sword that defeated Humbaba," the warrior challenged, voice echoing like thunder. "You must earn it through blood and valor." Gilgamesh's heart raced, the pulse of battle igniting within him. "I will face you, I will prove my worth." He drew his own sword, the weight of it grounding him, and charged forward, the earth trembling beneath his feet. The warrior met him with a clash of steel, each strike resonating through the air like the cries of fallen heroes. They danced a deadly waltz, blades singing as they struck and parried, sparks flying like the remnants of shattered dreams. Gilgamesh pushed forward, the memory of Enkidu at his back, whispering strength into his soul. "Is this all you have?" The warrior taunted, his strikes growing fiercer. "You claim honor, yet you wield your sword like a child." Anger ignited within Gilgamesh, he bellowed with fury, a primal roar that echoed across the plain. "I am no child, I am the king of Uruk, a son of the gods, my heart beats with the courage of the fallen." With a renewed surge of power, he lunged at the warrior, his blade finding its mark against the shimmering armor. The force of the blow sent shockwaves rippling through him, and for a brief moment, the warrior faltered, eyes wide with surprise. "You possess strength, but strength alone does not define a true warrior," he roared, regaining his footing. "I am not merely powerful, I am driven by the love for my fallen brother." Gilgamesh declared, the ghost of Enkidu lifting his spirit, igniting a fire within him that burned brighter than any steel. He unleashed a flurry of strikes, each one echoing with the cries of those who had sacrificed everything. The warrior fell back, struggling to match Gilgamesh's fervor. "Your heart is a weapon," he conceded, fury giving way to respect. "Yet a weapon must be tempered by wisdom. Show me your resolve." Gilgamesh surged forward, unfurling the very essence of his being into the battle. With one final, decisive blow, he struck the warrior down, the clash of steel resounding like a bell tolling for the dead. Panting heavily, he stood over the fallen figure, feeling the trembling of the plain beneath him. "You have earned your place in the annals of history," the warrior gasped, fading into shadows. "Claim your sword." With that, the ground before him shimmered, and from the earth rose the fabled bladed hilt adorned with inscriptions of ancient wisdom, the edge gleaming with an otherworldly light. As he grasped the sword, power surged through him, his spirit intertwining with the relic, echoing the bond he shared with Enkidu. "I will carry your spirit into the depths of this journey," Gilgamesh vowed, the weight of destiny settling upon his shoulders. I will honor our bond. With newfound strength coursing through him, he was drawn to the next relic. The ground shifted, transforming, and he found himself standing at the gates of a grand citadel, its once majestic walls now crumbling and overgrown with vines. The air was thick with the scent of decay and forgotten dreams. Emerging from the shadows was the wraith of a king, his visage ethereal, yet his presence overwhelming. You seek the crown of Uruk, the spectre intoned, his voice akin to the groans of the earth. To wear it, you must face the burdens of your rule, only then shall you wield its power. I am ready, Gilgamesh declared, feeling the weight of his kingdom pressing against him. I will confront my past. Suddenly, visions swirled around him, memories of his reign, the cries of the people, the demands of power, the sacrifices made for glory. Faces of those he had ruled flashed by, their expressions twisted in anguish and hope, a myriad of emotions weighing down upon him. Gilgamesh, your decisions have led to both prosperity and suffering, the spectral king warned, eyes piercing through to the core of his soul. Can you shoulder the weight of a king? Can you bear the loss of those who look to you? Gilgamesh felt the crushing weight of his choices, his heart ached for the lives entwined in the tapestry of his reign. I have made mistakes, he admitted, voice trembling. But I strive to learn, to grow. I carry their hopes, their dreams, and I will not let them down. The spectre stepped closer, a glimmer of approval shining in his eyes. Then prove it, face the truth of your heart. With the wave of his hand, the air shimmered, revealing a reflection of York, a city bustling with life, yet marred by shadows of despair. In the heart of this vision stood a figure, cloaked in darkness, whispering lies that clung to the air like poison. King Gilgamesh, you are a failure. You have led your people to ruin. Each soul lost is a burden you must bear. The voice echoed, mocking his every decision. Silence. Gilgamesh roared, the fire of defiance igniting within him. I will not be bound by shadows or lies. My heart is true, and I fight for the honor of my people. With a surge of power, he charged into the darkness, striking against the figure, the essence of his words fueled by the memories of those he had lost. I will not allow despair to rule my heart. I will forge a path of hope. As the darkness writhed, the spectre dissolved, and the crown of Uruk materialized, glinting with the promise of unity and strength. You have faced your truth, the spectral king whispered, and in doing so, you have proven your worth. Gilgamesh grasped the crown, feeling its weight settle upon his head, filling him with a sense of purpose. I will honor my people. With the relics in a hand and purpose renewed, he stepped forward, the world shifting once more. This time, he found himself standing in a vast expanse of mist, a feather floating gently before him, a feather belonging to Isha herself. To wield this power, brave king, you must face the challenge of love and sacrifice, a voice echoed from the mist. I am prepared, Gilgamesh replied, heart swelling with determination. I seek wisdom that transcends love. I will not falter. The mist swirled, revealing visions of Ishtar, a fierce yet tender form radiating both strength and vulnerability, the embodiment of love intertwined with war. But from the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in darkness, a beast of twisted desires, the embodiment of betrayal. You think you can claim the love of a goddess? They hissed, its voice a venomous whisper. You are unworthy of her grace. Love is a fickle thing, and your heart is but a vessel of ambition. I will prove you wrong. Gilgamesh shouted, drawing upon the strength of the relics at his side. Love is not a weakness. It is a source of strength. I will not let betrayal bind my heart. The beast lunged, a tempest of shadows, and the two collided in a blaze of fury. They battled fiercely, the echoes of their clash ringing through the misty expanse. Gilgamesh felt the power of love coursing through him, fortifying his resolve as he struck back against the darkness. You cannot defeat me, the beast roared, lunging again. Your heart is cowardly, an empty shell. You will lose everything you hold dear. Gilgamesh's mind raced, memories of Enkidu, of those who had fought alongside him, igniting a fire that burned brighter than any darkness. I will not yield. Love is a bond, and bonds cannot be broken by shadows. With a determined strike, he unleashed the combined power of the relics, a blinding flash of light that shattered the darkness. Hashish, the forest of Cedars. Gilgamesh confronts Humbaba Part 4. The air crackled with tension as the darkness convulsed, and Gilgamesh, heart pounding with determination, stood tall before the abominable beast. Shadows coiled like serpents around him, whispering taunts that sought to undermine his spirit. Yet the fire of his purpose blazed brighter than the abyss he faced. You think love is a weakness? The beast slithered, its form shifting like liquid night. You are foolish to believe that the heart can conquer the darkness of existence. I do not believe in the absence of fear, Gilgamesh roared, his voice a clarion call against the encroaching shadows. I believe in the courage to face it. Love is the very essence of strength that binds us, drives us and fuels our fight against despair. With renewed vigor, he charged at the beast, his sword drawn, the blade glinting with the light of 1,000 stars. Echoes of Enkidu's laughter reverberated in his mind, granting him strength. The memories of their shared journeys, their battles fought side by side, bolstered his resolve. For Enkidu, for love I will not falter. The beast roared in fury, a sound that shook the very earth beneath his feet. You think your heart can shield you from despair? Let me show you the true depths of betrayal. With that, it lunged forward, a tempest of darkness, its clawed hands reaching for Gilgamesh's throat. In a heartbeat, the king pivoted, dodging the creature's grasp. The shadows swirled around him, trying to ensnare his limbs, but he fought back with the might of 1,000 warriors, channeling his pain into power. I am not alone in this battle, he shouted defiantly, invoking the spirit of his fallen brother. Enkidu, stand beside me. As if summoned by the strength of their bond, a shimmering light erupted from within him, illuminating the darkness that surrounded the beast. The shadows recoiled, screeching in agony. No, this cannot be, it hissed, its form flickering as if caught between realms. Drawing upon the relics of his journey, Gilgamesh felt their energy resonate within him, intertwining with the essence of his love for Enkidu. You are but a shadow, a remnant of fear, he bellowed, charging forward with renewed fury. I will banish you from my heart. His sword sang through the air, a silver arc striking true, finding purchase in the beast's dark form. An explosion of light erupted, and for a brief moment, he saw the flicker of Enkidu's spirit, guiding his strike, empowering him to push against the darkness. I fight not just for myself, but for all those who have fallen, for every soul lost in the shadows. The beast howled in rage, the sound reverberating across the vast expanse of the misty realm. Shadows writhed and surged, attempting to engulf Gilgamesh, but he stood firm, rooted in the very essence of his love and the heroism he had forged alongside Enkidu. You will not take me, he cried defiantly, slashing through the encroaching darkness with every ounce of strength he possessed. Love, honor, they will betray you, the beast screeched, launching a desperate attack, claws slashing through the air. Yet Gilgamesh was ready. He sidestepped, feeling the winds of fate swirl around him, and retaliated with a swift thrust of his sword. This struggle became a dance, a tapestry woven with strength and resolve as Gilgamesh parried and struck, each movement a testament to the bonds he cherished. You feed on despair, he declared, voice echoing through the mists, but I am the flame that will burn you away. With a furious roar, Gilgamesh unleashed a flurry of strikes, each blow infused with the memory of Enkidu, the laughter, the battles, the moments shared beneath the stars. The beast staggered, shadows unraveling, its form flickering like a dying flame. You cannot. Enough of your lies. Gilgamesh shouted, channeling the power of the relics. I am a king, I am a warrior, I am a brother, by the gods, I will not let you win. With one final strike, he plunged his sword deep into the heart of the beast, a surge of light exploding forth, illuminating the darkness around them. The beast let out a final, anguished howl, and in an instant, it burst into a cascade of shadows, dissipating into the air like a wisp of smoke. Silence fell over the expanse, the echoes of the battle reverberating away into the void. Gilgamesh stood panting, the weight of the relics heavy in his hands, heart racing with the pulse of victory. Yet, in that moment of triumph, a shadow flickered at the edge of his consciousness, a painful reminder of all he had lost. Enkidu, he whispered, the name a prayer on his lips. You are my fire, my strength, my brother. Tears streamed down his face, the ache of loss swelling within him like a tidal wave. I fought for you, I fought for the bonds we forged in this life. And as if hearing his plea, the winds began to shift, swirling around him, carrying whispers of the beloved fallen. I am with you, Gilgamesh, a voice echoed, soft yet powerful, weaving through the very fabric of the air. In every fight, in every breath, my spirit stands beside you. Honor my memory, and let it guide your heart. With renewed resolve, Gilgamesh steadied himself, wiping the tears from his eyes. I will not forget your sacrifice, he vowed, the words breaking free from his heart like a battle cry. I will honor you with every decision I make, every battle I fight. I will carry your spirit, and together we shall forge a legend that echoes through eternity. As the last remnants of the darkness faded, the realm transformed once more. The swelling mist parted, revealing a pathway lined with ethereal light, each step illuminating the journey ahead. Gilgamesh felt the power of the relics surge within him, guiding him forward. A voice boomed from the heavens, resonating with the authority of the gods. You have faced your fears and emerged victorious, O King of Uruk, but your journey is not yet complete. There are trials still to come, choices that will test your very essence. Then let them come. Gilgamesh declared, standing tall amid the remnants of the shadows. I have tasted despair and I have embraced love. I will not shy away from the trials ahead. I am Gilgamesh, and I shall carve my destiny from the stone of fate. The path ahead shimmered with the promise of challenges yet unseen, the horizon stretching infinitely as the stars above twinkled with the blessings of the gods. The legacy of his journey was still unfolding, each step a testament to the bond he shared with Enkidu and the love that transcended the shadows of mortality. With every heartbeat, he felt the strength of his journey, the weight of the choices to come, and the love that would guide him through the trials ahead. For Enkidu, he whispered to the winds, and for every soul who has fought against the darkness, I will not falter. Let the legends of our bonds echo through the ages. And with that, Gilgamesh strode boldly into the light, ready for the next chapter of his epic saga, tale woven from the threads of love, loss, and unyielding courage that would resonate through the annals of time, forever reminding the world of the indomitable spirit of humanity.